I want to show you a vehicle that's in my collection that during season 2, you saw the front end of this vehicle. I had just acquired it, but I was up trying to get some of the restoration work done, and the drivetrain has now been complete. Everything else is done to this vehicle, and I want to show you just a little bit about my 1942 Dodge WC57 Command Car. Now, let me frame the Command Car for a lot of you folks who may not understand what this vehicle is and what it was. There were a little over 6,000 of these WC57s, and they're the ones with the winch. They were made during World War II, and if you remember the movie Patton, George C. Scott, when he went in North Africa to his first assignment, he rode in one of these. Patton had just had a finish for the Command Car. The Command Car kind of fell out of grace merely because the enemy used to ID it, because they knew that there were high-level ranking officers or high-level staff in those vehicles, and they'd bomb them first. So anyway, I was lucky to acquire this vehicle several years ago. It's one of my World War II vehicles in my collection other than my WC54, but I do a little walk around now, okay? I know it ain't Jay Leno's garage, but we're back here at Bob Redfern's Motor Pool, so let's take a look at my Command Car. Now, this particular vehicle here was all disassembled and taken apart. And I want to show you a little bit about the engine. It is a T214 Dodge Flathead 6. This engine is a brand new engine in this vehicle. Everything on it or about it was redone. I had new wiring harness put in complete. The steering gearbox has all been redone, radiator, you name it, it has all been redone in here. Now, for a lot of you purists out there, you would think that the original transmission that these came with should go back in them. But if you want to drive them, and many of you folks who are military collectors out there know what a synchronized transmission is and what it's not. So, what I had was I took the transmission out of an M37, which is a truck made by Dodge in 1952 and up through 1969. I took the power transfer case and the transmission that was synchronized and had it retrofitted into this vehicle. So when you drive it, you're not grinding gears and doing all those kinds of things. So those are just a couple of things. All of the drivetrain was redone, all of the bearings, all of the seals, everything that had something that moved had been replaced on this. Well, folks, the drivetrain on this 57 is in absolute mint condition now, and it ought to be, okay? Folks that want to get into collecting these vehicles, World War II stuff, probably is one of your better bets as far as investment is concerned. There are folks that argue with me about that, but the amount of collectible vehicles out there from World War II, the eye of that needle is getting smaller. I did put the canvas has been installed on these, the canvas doors. Driving it in the winter is a big deal. And so I've retrofitted it with new reproduction canvas doors. Now you'll see that the body work is not complete. On this, I didn't do it back to what I would call pristine concours condition. There are some dents and stuff, and that's okay. It shows that this is a motor pool ready, parade ready collectible vehicle, but because of its rarity, and they estimate there's probably less than 150 to 200 of these left on the road by talking to some of the experts, the WC57 Dodge Command Car, again, is one of the most collectible of the World War II vehicles. There are a lot of others, and a lot of the folks would argue with me, not just because I have one, but I will tell you that this particular vehicle, they just didn't have that many made, and there's not that many left.